Welcome to AI for a Better World. We've all heard the headline, AI is coming for your job. But the real crisis isn't about losing a seat at the table. It's about the ladder being kicked away. The junior roles where you used to learn the ropes, make mistakes, and prove your worth, they're being automated into oblivion. If the front door to the workforce is locked, how do you get in? Today, we're talking about proof of skill over proof of degree. I'm joined by the brothers who are gamifying the future of work, Dom and Phil Kwok, the co-founders of EasyA.
It's great to be here. Thank you for having us on the show.
Welcome, Dom. Let's be blunt. If I'm a graduate today, the old playbook says, get a degree, get an internship, fetch some coffee, and eventually get a job. AI just automated the coffee fetching and the data entry. Is the entry-level job officially an endangered species?
Well, I think in many cases, yes. And I think for the main reason that AI is automating a lot of the very simple tasks that junior people do. I was an analyst at Blackstone not too long ago. A lot of the work was manual labor, so to speak. One of the things that people didn't really enjoy, was obviously the grunt work. And that was that sort of, manual labor, as we call it. So I think AI is going to replace a lot of the work that the analysts do. And ultimately, it's going to result in much fewer analysts needed too. So the entry-level job, as we know it, I think is over. There'll always be an entry-level job. It may just not be the analyst. The future is going to be very bright for junior people because it means they don't have to do the grunt work, so to speak, and the manual labor in the office. They can actually work on more complicated things.
So let me stop you there. We're now moving from what's your degree to what have you built? If the traditional resume is headed for the recycling bin, what's the new golden ticket? When a top-tier company looks at talent today, are they looking at the GPA or the GitHub?
Definitely the GitHub. I think we see it even in the space we're in. We're obviously, whenever we look at people who we want to work with, we always look at their skills. We always look at their GitHub. We want to see the projects they've actually built. And if you're hiring for engineers, you want to see they've built things in the past. You want to see their code. You want to see how they've written their code. You don't necessarily want to see that they've just done well in school. A lot of people who don't actually get hired based on credentials, but actually on what they've built, especially in the AI space, especially in the blockchain space.
Well, you guys have over 1 million people learning to build on EasyA. Most of them aren't sitting in a lecture hall. Why does learning by doing beat learning by listening every single time in the AI age?
In order to actually do something and know how to do something, you actually have to get your hands dirty and actually try doing it yourself. So for us, it's very important that people actually try doing it, people actually get their hands dirty. And that's why we also host a ton of in-person events where people can actually come. We call them hackathons. People can actually come and they can actually build and demo what they've actually done. Yeah, it's just so important to get your hands dirty in today's day and age. And luckily, AI is making it much easier for anyone to start programming.
Well, let's talk about the zip code barrier. Tech has a reputation for being a members-only club. How do we make sure AI doesn't just make the smart kids smarter?
Yeah, definitely. I think AI is a huge enabler, actually, of people all over the world, not only the elites. Obviously, the elites, they have access to AI perhaps maybe first. They get, the new releases because they have access to, certain betas. They can also pay for it potentially in certain cases, what others may not be able to pay. But ultimately, what we've seen, especially at the hackathons that we host, is everyone who comes to the hackathons, regardless of where they come from, they are able to use AI to build things much faster and much more easily. So I don't really believe that AI is only for those who are more privileged. I think it's actually a great equalizer of people.
Dom, thanks for that reality check. It's clear the front door to a career has changed. Why is the global education system still so far behind? Phil, I want to bring you in here. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having us on.
Universities move at the speed of a glacier. AI is moving at the speed of light. By the time a syllabus is approved, this tech may already be obsolete. Is the gap between the classroom and the real world fixable at this point?
That's a really good question. And I always come back to that quote by Einstein, education is about the training of the mind to think, not the learning of facts. And so students always get frustrated about the fact that they're having to learn things that are out of date. But at the same time, I feel like actually the things that I learned today that I use are really just what I learned in terms of learning how to think and being trained how to think. And the stuff that I use on a day-to-day basis, which isn't grounded in that, is really just things that I've picked up along the way. And so my take on it is this. It's very simple. Universities and syllabuses aren't necessarily built in order to teach people about what's absolutely up to date, about training people how to think. And I think that that's more important actually in the age of AI than it's ever been before.
We've been raised to believe that finishing is the goal. You graduate, you get the paper, but you've said that outcomes are the only metric that matters. Does a certificate even mean anything if you can't ship code the next morning?
I think that ultimately what it comes down to, and we've seen this as well at EasyA, is, yeah, it's not necessarily just about the certificate. It's not just about checking boxes, because we've hired people at EasyA who are our top engineers who never even went to university. Having those experiences under your belt are more important than ever. And what's the easiest way to show that you have that experience? Ultimately, sometimes it is through a certificate, but ultimately it's the experiences and those verified parts, those verified credentials, which actually are more important than ever.
Great. Well, I want to talk about some of your success stories now. Give me the underdog story. Who is someone who used EasyA to completely bypass the traditional system and change their life?
One that I always do like to come back to is actually the story of Ash. Didn't necessarily start off as an undergrad. He started off with all of the hallmarks of somebody who was going to make it. And he really built this amazing project, and it was called Lockbox. He then went on very successfully to go and get into A16Z Crypto's startup school. He was definitely the underdog in his whole team. All Harvard undergrads, and by far the youngest people in the group. They weren't necessarily at the top of their batch. And going back, he was sitting on the plane and he had talked with his co-founders. He was pretty sure that he was the only one who's going to be left in that. And I asked him this before. I was like, Ash, what was going through your mind? How did you actually get through it? And at that point, he was very, very much the underdog. They'd moved out to LA. They'd literally left their college degrees behind. It wasn't like one of those success stories where you go, you come top of the accelerator, you raise a massive round, and his co-founders were going to go their own separate ways. But he just kept on building, and he kept in touch with the EasyA community. He kept in touch with EasyA, and he ended up raising a big round. And he's now today actually building a startup. And so I think it's just one of those amazing success stories of a young, really, really driven person who didn't take no for an answer.
Wonderful. That's a great story. I want to talk a little bit finally about the future. A career in a box. 10 years from now, does the first job even exist? Or are we all going to be founders of one, using AI to build our own opportunities from day one?
I think that in the age of AI, the ideas person is more valuable than ever, because you can pretty much snap your fingers and build almost any application that you want. And so I think that what this looks like in the future is everybody starts to become their own founder, whether that's founders building stuff for other people or even just building things for themselves. We are building for a future where the idea person is more powerful and more leveraged than ever before.
Wonderful. Phil, thank you for showing us that while the old door might be closing, the side windows are wide open. Thanks for coming on the show. We look forward to staying in touch and hearing how you guys continue to do.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure to be on.
AI isn't just changing the work, it's changing the entry fee. The question isn't who will hire me, but what can I build? I'm Cathy Rubin. Keep building, and I'll see you next time on AI for a Better World.